Repeat after me, Mwalimu.
Mwalimu.
I will not misuse.
I will not misuse.
Nubian Njia.
Nubian Njia.
Martial arts.
Martial arts.
I will use.
I will use.
Nubian Njia.
Nubian Njia.
Martial arts.
Martial arts.
For self-defense.
For self-defense.
To practice.
To practice.
Or to teach.
Or to teach.
I will observe.
I will observe.
The seven.
The seven.
Cardinal virtues.
Cardinal virtues.
Of Ma'at.
Of Ma'at.
And the virtues are.
And the virtues are.
Truth.
Truth.
Justice.
Justice.
Propriety.
Propriety.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Balance.
Balance.
Order.
Order.
Righteousness.
Righteousness.
Inama.
Inama.
Watiari. Mtengeneza. Watiari. That is the bow-in and the recitation of the oath. Right now, the student is at ease. Watiari. This means attention. Mtengeneza. This is the ready position. Watiari. Mtengeneza. Watiari. Mtengeneza. Watiari. Mtengeneza. So you notice the student moves the left foot in Watiari and Mtengeneza. Watiari. Inama. Inama is to bow. We look forward at the person, we don't look at the floor when we bow. So that represents Watiari. Watiari. Mtengeneza. Once again, Watiari. So those two elements are important. All right, this is the left chamber and the fist. Turn left. Extend your right hand out. Note the fist. Shift your feet. Shift body. Now we're seeing this fist again. Note the fist. When it strikes the surface, it will be directly on it. It generally will not strike with the lower portion before the upper portion, so that this way you strike without hyperextending the wrist. Yo. Again. This is the beginning of form Taseti, the skill that will be needed in order to demonstrate form Taseti effectively. Step back high block 1. So the first move is a high block. I'm going to zoom in so you get a close-up of the high block. It's above the head. The left arm is in close to the head. If you move the left arm out, you notice a lot of space created and the head becomes exposed from above. On the right side of the head, you can see that if something were to strike down, the head would be injured. This is why the arm needs to be in close in order to protect the head. And also, It protects the left side of the head as well as the top of the head when executing this very first move. In this move, there are 5 elements at least. There's the proper fist, which is the straight fist. Extend the right hand out. That wrist needs to be straight so that when a strike is executed, a punch or a reverse punch, that fist is not hyperextended along with the wrist. That's why it needs to be straight. So now you have the high block. You also have the chamber. You had Watiari to begin with, from which he stepped into the stance. So you have Watiari, stance, high block, cross block, chamber, and fist. Watiari. Step back, high block 1. Watiari. Step back, high block 2. Watiari. Step back, high block 3. Watiari. Step back, high block 4. Watiari. Step back, high block 5. Watiari. Mtengen Za. Watiari. Inama. Step back, high block 1. Cross block 2. Watiari. Step back, high block 1. Cross block 2. High block 1. Cross block 2. Watiari. Step back, high block 1. Cross block 2. 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 What we have here is the left arm going from high block to cross block, demonstrating the hammer, which is by the pinky side, the meaty part of the hand. Turn the hammer forward so we can see it. That white space, that lightest space on the hand, that is the hammer. Turn it back. Now the hammer is generally considered a strike, but when executing a cross block with some power, you might end up striking your opponent with that part of your fist. That's called the hammer. High block 1, cross block 2. Watiari. Mtengen Za. Watiari. Inama. Step back, high block 1. If you'll notice, the stance was stepped back diagonally. If you pretend you made a square and the position he was standing in was position 1 and directly behind him is position 2, and across directly diagonally is position 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be the position up in front if he were to step forward with his right foot. Watiari. Step back, high block 1. Watiari. Step back, high block 1. You notice the left knee is bent forward. Emphasize the bend on the left knee, please. This way, if the defender should get kicked in the knee, he has some degree of defense. But his stepping back is an evasion move, and his block is an evasion move as well. It's designed to move him side to the side so that he doesn't get struck by an object coming down or punching straight at him. Watiari. Step back, high block 1, cross block 2. Again, with the cross block, you notice that the arm is parallel to the ground. The hammer Turn the hammer forward, please. The hammer is the pinky side. Put it back in position. It is going to make contact possibly with the object of which it is blocking. If it's a stick, if it's a hand, if it's a fist, that's the hammer will make contact, not the pinky. Watiari. Inama. Back high block 1, cross block 2, low block 3. The low block back to high block position, cross block, slowly bring the low block down and across. Notice how it sweeps across the body, bringing any object outside of the body. This happens to protect the body. In some cases, you may actually be moving back away from the opponent as you block. Watiari. Inama. Back high block 1. Cross block 2. Low block 3. If you'll notice, the low block, the hammer is the striking object moving out, and it would make contact possibly with any object if it were to make contact at that level. Otherwise, it's the forearm and possibly the bicep that makes contact with the striking object. Notice that, again, the knee is bent in the front so that if contact is made with the knee, the leg is protected because the leg at the knee joint can be hyperextended, which is a break. The right hand is in a chamber, and the fist is straight, so that in the event that a punch needs to be thrown, right punch, it is already positioned to strike. Left punch, right punch, return the left hand to the low block position. If you notice, it's not centered, it's blocking outward. Watiari. Step back high block 1, cross block 2, low block 3, punch 4. Let's take a look at the angle of the punch. Good, nice angle on the punch. The wrist is straight. Turn back. Shift, feet, turn. If you'll notice, again, the wrist is straight, and when the punch makes contact, primarily upper portion makes contact first many times, but you don't want the lower portion to be the real contact points because it doesn't have as much support. Even though it is strong, you want to strike with more of the force that comes from the upper arm area. When I say upper, I definitely mean that the upper knuckles are supported by the entire arm behind it, where the pinky curling down into the fist has a little less support, but it's still strong because it is supported by the hand. Shift. Watiari. Inama. Back high block 1, 2, 3, punching 4. If you note, when the punch was executed, it comes with a little hip motion that gives it extra power, but the left arm goes into a strong chamber, which is in actuality a left elbow strike, striking backwards. No one should be behind him, and if they are, who knows why, but that left chamber is striking. Shift, reverse positions with the hands. Again, did you note the power of the elbow strike? Again, strike, and if you note the hip movement. So we have a strong reverse punch. With the reverse punch, if you'll note, the fist is facing upward on the left side. Slowly switch in position, slowly reverse the punch. If you notice, the fist is turning over 180 degrees, which then is called a reverse punch because the fist reverses 180 degrees. Watiari. Turn to the Inama. Step to position number 6. In position number 6, the defender is executing a right reverse punch. At this point, he's going to prepare his hands and right low block. Return to position number 6. Prepare. Slowly pivot. If you notice the feet, there is a pivot motion. Pivot back. Pivot again. Pivot back. Knee bent. Forward stance. Pivot. Good. Prepare. Pivot. Pivot back. Watiari. Position number 6. Pivot. Low block. Return to 6. Prepare your hands. Pivot. And low block. Return to position number 6. Prepare your hands. 7. 6. Prepare your hands. 7. 6. Prepare your hands. 7. Watiari. Inama. Note the pinky to outside block. Hammer. Watiari. Nama. Watiari. Inama.